Common Sense with the Senior Delinquents.
So you took the brain boost, huh?
You ought to see my new mind. Bigger than his now.
Come on, Doc. Let's have it.
But the Krell forgot one thing.
Yes, what?
Monsters, John. Monsters from the id.
What is the id? A big machine, 8,000 cubic miles of Kleistron relays, operated by the electromagnetic impulses of individual Krell brains. Creation by mere thought. But like you, the Krell forgot one deadly danger. Their own subconscious hate and lust for destruction.
They could hardly have understood what power was destroying them.
Welcome to another edition of the Senior Delinquents. Today we're going to do a deep dive into outer space and other worlds. The question of life on other planets has been around since the beginning of time. I'm Dennis Silvers right here in Las Vegas, along with my great co-host, Jamie McWilliams, who's in beautiful Tampa, Florida. And, you know, together we've pretty much covered the country with our show. But you know what? I think it's time now that we go universal. And speaking of that, Jamie, what's your take on alien encounters?
Well, based on the clips we showed from Forbidden Planet, a great movie that showed how a civilization so advanced wiped itself out because of their ids, probably the stupid things we see a lot go back to that fact, and that id and idiot are pretty close together when you think about it. But when you look at it, well, one of the things that comes up a lot is that people claim that they've had intimate contact with alien life forms. Right. We can't be sure about it, but recently we got some proof that it may just have happened.
Hi! I got me a free colonoscopy. I got it from Space Aliens. I'm even on their social media site, Facebook. They got pictures and everything, and I can now say words like colonoscopy. They give me a brain boost. My IQ is now in double digits, and they say I'm dumb.
All kidding aside, when you look at the universe and you think about the size of it and what's out there, when you talk about alien life, and I did try to reference it because I know I read it, but I couldn't remember whether it was Bradbury or Asimov, the science fiction writers, but they welcomed looking at other alien life in this vast, vast, vast universe with probably billions of possible life forms. They said, well, I don't fear so much discovering there's life other than what we have on Earth, because at least we'll know that life forms evolved and didn't destroy themselves. Just like in that Forbidden Planet example where the Krell evolved to this highest level, but they still managed to wipe themselves out because of the things that are built into their DNA. What are your feelings on this, Dennis?
It's always easier to destroy than to create things, as you know. So it's a subject really that you could talk about a lot.
Well, you, I know, were intrigued with the fact that this is not just some recent phenomenon because we have more powerful telescopes, but throughout time, recorded history, many groups have claimed that they had encounters with other life forms from outside of our own Earth.
Correct. And you see it today with the reporting today in the news of commercial pilots seeing something strange in the sky. Military pilots reporting to the Pentagon even, they saw something inexplicable to them flashing across the sky. So who knows, Jamie?
Well, when you don't know, you can make all sorts of assumptions, but one of the assumptions that a lot of people make is that these advanced civilizations, which were capable of sending beings through space and through great times and distances to visit us, are going to be friendly, benign, and so forth. But we have no real knowledge of that either. just because you are evolved intellectually and technologically, it doesn't necessarily mean that you don't have your eyes on, well, they've got it, we want it, we're going to take it, and we don't care about them, we care about us. Are you thinking that all extraterrestrial life forms will be friendly and benevolent?
To be honest, I don't know, Jamie. And you know what? I'd love to meet an extraterrestrial to find out for myself. Either I'm going to still be here or they're going to vaporize me. But I'd like to find out.
Well, I don't know if I'd like to meet him or not, because I'm pretty content with what I've got now. I'd hate to think that I'd be waving goodbye as I leave for outer space and saying,
Yeah, I would not want you. I would not want you to go. Interestingly enough, and I think a lot of our viewers, the term alien itself is used in a lot of different ways. It's derived from the Latin alienus, if I'm pronouncing that correct, which is derived actually from another language. And do you know what that means? It means slave. Later, the meaning came to mean stranger, a foreigner, someone that was not related by blood. And it's, that also includes, Jamie, not only people, but plants, animals that are unknown to somebody, that are outside of a group. And I thought that's very interesting.
Well, words come and go in terms of popularity. Now, alien, you can't say illegal alien in the government's eyes anymore. They're not undocumented citizens. And so maybe they should look at not using that term either, but say otherworldly beings or extraterrestrial, although that's a mouthful, and I would goof it up. And I'd hate to say, welcome to our planet, you wonderful extra, and they'd probably say, idiot, let's go back.
I wonder if the aliens have gotten to the point, Jamie, where they become woke, or they even know where woke is. Speaking of illegal immigration.
Well, that would certainly test their sense of humor. If we said, no, wait a second. We identify you as male of the species. No, actually, I identify as something else. Oh, okay. You mean you're from another world? Probably, but I haven't identified that way yet. But thanks for the suggestion.
Yeah. I researched, Jamie, and I really, really did try to do my homework on this, of who was credited with coming up with the phrase, when somebody says something that you don't understand, they say, you know what, that's really alien to me. And I tried to find out who was the guy or the group or whatever that got that going, and I was unable to find it, unfortunately.
I think it's the guy who created the alien golf wedge. He just was being a wise ass. Just a theory, though. Well, you know what bothers me too, Dennis, is that when and I love science fiction, I love the movies, I love that genre, but what kills me is when people write about the future and they don't go far enough into the future. Because I remember seeing in school 2001: A Space Odyssey back in the late 60s, and then the century turns around and I'm looking for the space station that just orbits the Earth, and flights to the moon are routine, and we have bases on the moon. And I said, I think they're off by 50, 100 years, who knows? But so many films that they set in the future, they think it's going to happen in a matter of a few decades, and it never does. The world doesn't evolve as fast as people think it will, especially if they're writing science fiction.
Absolutely correct. And you take the word extraterrestrial that you've talked about. Let me ask you, what's extra about it?
It's a money thing. Extra. With this terrestrial, you get this bonus terrestrial. A twofer.
Or extra, read all about it. Speaking about reading all about it, to our viewers, listen, catch all of our shows, will you, on different social media platforms. And don't forget, go to our website to get all of the shows, seniordelinquents.com. You'll see everything on our website, and it's really, really good.
Are you sucking my balls? Nobody else here, so I guess you're sucking my balls!
Well, you know, we are going to take a little different tact ending the show because I have a little treat here. Because when you talk about the vastness of the universe, you feel a little insignificant. But at least we know here on Earth, it really is a small, small world. Till next time.